Hey everyone, we're here to talk about better safe than sorry and how emotionally demanding that can be sometimes. Let's start out with the good news. Our second son, Rustin, joined us on December 17th, and it was kind of like a storybook for a little while, right there in the beginning. So we went in at midnight. Courtney's feeling all these contractions. They get to this point, we're like, oh, yeah, you should probably go in. So we head in on midnight, goes all through the night, goes into the next day. And at 6:05, he was born. She got to do a VBAC. You can look up what that is. She wanted that after the C-section that was Bauer. Bauer kind of threw us for a bunch of spins and loops. Rustin was kind of just a straightforward kind of birth, I think. She got skin to skin contact right away, which is something she really wanted. Court, what was that like for you? What was like labor like and like getting him like
Labor was kind of rough, but not anything out of the ordinary, just kind of that typical pain. But it was by far exactly what I wanted, just to actually get to do a normal birth and feel all the feelings and get to have my son put on my chest right after I had him. It was just amazing. And to like get that bonding right away was everything I ever wanted. So it was pretty amazing.
yeah, it was pretty great. They had I don't remember the medical term for it, but he had pooped before he came out. So they're like, oh, we got to suction him right away. But the staff was great. And they were like, okay, get him on the chest first. Then we're going to take and suction him. Then we're going to put him back on the chest and get the skin to skin contact. They're really great. The doctor
Yeah.
was great. The staff was great. The hospital staff was amazing. So, and then he's born at 6:05. By 7 o'clock, I'm at Courtney's brother Cody's house, getting Bauer because I wanted this time where it was just Bauer and I to go to the hospital, join Courtney and Rustin, and then kind of just have that transition from like, hey, dude, it's no longer you and I when we're hanging out. It's going to be you, me, and Rustin, and obviously Courtney too. He told me everything in his way. He's got a few words like what happened. And then when we walked in, again, it was just kind of storybook. He went over to see his mom, and Courtney, I'll let you take it away because you had something you wanted with.
Yeah, my biggest thing was when Gil was bringing Bauer into the hospital, I wanted to make sure that like he was a priority. So I made sure once Gil got there that I had Rustin laying down like in his own little bassinet, so that way I could pick up Bauer right away and just focus on him since we hadn't seen him for pretty much a day. So I got to pick up Bauer and just snuggle him for a minute, and then he got a look over at his brother Rustin, and he said baby and was like all excited. So it was just like a really nice time to have with just the four of us and get that little family time in and just see how our dynamic was going to go.
Yeah, and I thought it was cool before Rustin showed up. Bauer would point to Courtney's belly and say baby, but then he pointed to Rustin and said baby, which seems pretty obvious. Like, yeah, for all of us, we know that. But I think Bauer really had put together that Rustin came from Courtney's belly. So that was really neat. It's just one of those things you get with your own kids. Like you kind of get how they talk. We were together for probably what, half an hour, 45 minutes. And then my mom and her boyfriend came, Courtney's mom and her grandma came, and we all got to hang out together. Next day was kind of like standard day after stuff in the hospital. Feeding's going okay, double checking on him. Family came and visited again. And then Friday, we were going to get to go home. We're like literally on the way out. Courtney noticed like a scab on his head, pretty much. We asked about it and they were like, oh, yeah, we better check that out. So we had one person look at it. They got a team of three people to look at it. And they were like, we really can't say for sure. It's better to get him tested for HSV. It could be life altering and it's really dangerous if it's the wrong kind. And we were like, man, better safe than sorry. Yeah, we better do that. And then that's where this really comes in is like what comes with better safe than sorry that you don't always anticipate. So we were like, yeah, better safe than sorry. Let's get him tested. And then we found out that the test was they're pretty much swabbing his skin. They're giving him like a little nose swab, like the COVID. He hated that, like we all do. They did a blood draw and they had to take it from not just his heel, like they do with the newborns, but they also had to put in an IV, which is really hard when you're not 48 hours yet for the nurses to find and get out. But then they also had to do a spinal tap. So they also had to get spine fluid from him, all this just to find out if he had it. And we were like, man, better safe than sorry, but this is rough watching him go through all this. Court, what do you like? How was it for you?
It was rough. I mean, we had to just sit there kind of hopeless, not being able to like help him at all and just not be able to help him with the pain because they had to poke him multiple times to get IVs and they couldn't get it for a while. And then we had to go through multiple IVs because his little veins would blow or like something would happen to where it snagged on something and pulled the IV out. So it was just hard to watch not even a 3-day-old go through all of that, and we just had to, like, kinda watch and be helpless, and it just was kinda more than we signed on for too. We didn't realize, like, how much he was gonna have to go through for these tests. So it was just a whirlwind of emotions and helplessness and just kinda sitting there watching your kid struggle.
And
So,
we should say too, like he went through all these IVs. It's not like we had incompetent nurses or anything. Like they were great.
yeah,
They were really good at what they did. It's just hard when he's that little and
yeah.
everything else is that little, hard to find spots for IVs and stuff like that. So when we first went in, we didn't quite know how long we'd be staying. It ended up only 4 days. Felt like forever. And if you're in longer than 4 days, we sympathize with you. We hope that you get out soon. Like I said, 4 days seems very short, and in the long run, it is. But when you're in the thick of it, it's a little different. I'm sure other people can attest to that. But so we're in there. And then what we kind of realized too was like, man, we really miss Bauer because we both stayed with Rustin. Courtney had to be with him because she's feeding him, and I wanted to be there to support Courtney. We were lucky that our moms were able to take care of him. But we also feel like we kind of did him a disservice. And that's the other thing with this better safe than sorry. It was better by far to test Rustin, but also there were just those other things like him constantly getting pricked, but also Bauer not being with us and Bauer kind of being not tossed around, but like, his whole routine's off. This is all brand new to him. And he handled it like a champ because he is a champ. But that was just one of those other things that kind of weighed on us and all this. And then you get to this point where it could be, we're not sure, like the doctors or the medical staff tells you, and then your brain fills in the blanks for you. And it takes you some dark places. You have a hard time kind of finding your way. And then there are times where like the straw can just break the camel's back. On day 2, I talked Courtney into, hey, we should leave the hospital for a little bit, get some food. So we go to Wendy's at 11:30 at night. They close at midnight. I get these kids were just closing down. They're ready to go home. We came in half an hour before they're closed. We're looking for something. And then it just was not the best experience overall. They weren't polite. I wouldn't say they were rude, but it was just obnoxious to us at the time. And we kind of got our asses kicked by Wendy's at midnight. And we were like, you know what? By the time we got back to the garage, we regrouped and we're like, we're not going to let Wendy's tear us down. We're not, we know our kids got a release date. We know that things are looking good. We need to regroup and be better for our kids. So we're like, okay, let's go back in, be positive, optimistic for our boy, and let's get this done. So we go back in. And then on Monday, we got to come home. We're home, and I don't know about you, but like, so Courtney was gone. She went home with Bauer to get a break. I'll let you tell the rest of the story though. So, yeah, when I found out we're going home.
Yeah, so Gil stayed at the hospital because, again, they're tear on us emotionally. So, like, Gil's like, "You need a break. Like, just go home for a little bit, hang out with Bauer for an hour or 2, and then come back." So I left the hospital and just still kind of feeling down because at this point we had no idea when we were coming home. We didn't know if we'd be home for Christmas or not, or if we'd still be in the uh, little like nursery to where no one could come in and see us. And so I took a break, went home, and on the way home, the song "Coming Home for Christmas" or "I'll Be Home for Christmas" came on, and I had to mute it right away because I was just being a crybaby and I just couldn't handle listening to that. But then I got home and Bauer was being his like silly little self and like ran to the door to see me. So that gave me like just some relief with all the stress. But I was home maybe 10 minutes at the most, and then Gil called me and was like, "Hey, they said we get to go home." So I just like grabbed Bauer and ran out of the house to head back to the hospital. Like I forgot his shoes at one point, so I had to run back inside and grab them. And so we gotta get to the hospital, and then it was once we got there, Bauer was just excited to see dad and brother, and it was just nice to like pack up and get to leave as a family of 4 and get to go home as a family.
It was awesome having the dream come true. And Bauer, I've really got to pump his tires. He is just a hero. So he's really, I would say, emotionally advanced. Yeah, let's say advanced. But he can tell when we're having a hard time. And as soon as he sees that on our faces, he like tries to be silly for us and make us smile, which I really appreciate. And I think it's pretty great for a 21-month-old to be able to do. So got Rustin home. Our loves him. They have a great time together as much as they can. Wants to play like he does with everything. He body slams me on the bed, tried to body slam Rustin. I caught him before he landed on Rustin. And I was like, dude, you can't do that. And as I'm telling you, you can't do this, I'm realizing you have no idea what would have happened had you been successful. So I can't really be upset at you. Just kind of one of those. Yeah, the better safe than sorry. Great rule, but there's more that comes with it that I don't think parents are always ready for. And we just wanted to talk about how that can be wearing. And, if it gets to you, please reach out to someone. I mean, we had each other, we had our parents, we had friends. Talked to my buddy Josh and Hayden a little bit. Courtney had me, so she didn't have a whole lot because it's just me. Bauer was more helpful.
No, you both were great.
With that, I guess I should ask, like, we're kind of focused on dads. What could have I done better? Like, what did I do okay? What could I have done better? What's something that a dad should know if they're going into this? It's probably good to be ready for. Do you have anything?
I mean, every mom and person is different, but I like the sense of humor for the most part. Like Gil would try to joke with me sometimes, and sometimes it would pick me up and be like, yeah, this is not as serious as I'm making it out to be. I need this, like, joking. And other times I'd just roll my eyes and be like, yeah, whatever. So I think the joking side of you, like, helps a lot. And honestly, the comfort, there was times where we'd go back to the room because, again, Rustin was stuck in the nursery to where he couldn't leave. So, like, we'd leave every now and then just to get a breath or, like, walk. And it was just nice to have, like, Gil holding my hand, or, like, we snuggled for a little bit on the bed while I broke down. Like, it was just, like, having him there and, like, being there for me and just, like, comforting me was really helpful. But I think it just depends on what comforts you for everybody. Like, Gil just being there comforted me. Like, it was hard when he wasn't around.
I think that was the same for me. I think it's hard because in those moments, like, it's honestly for me, it was a little bit hard to remember that not that I was a husband, but like I was so focused on Rustin. Like, there were times where I kind of forgot about everything else. And it was nice to, like, oh my gosh, I have to take care of other people too. I think that helps. Like, people always say, like, let them get the weight of the world off of them. But sometimes having that weight helps. Like, it kind of brings you back. So
yeah, and I think Gil and I are really good at, like, one of us breaks down, the other one picks the other one up. So, like, we kind of switch off and on that, which I think helps a lot. Like, having the other one pick up the weight when you're crashing helps a lot. So I think we're really good at, like, seeing when the other one needs to crash and when the other one needs to step up.
I think that's a luxury, yeah, is that one can be high when the other one's low. If you're in a relationship where you're both high, that's probably great. But if you're both low at the same time, that's probably tough. So being able to offset is a luxury we definitely have. So all right. Well, that's our story. That's our better safe than sorry. A little heavy at times. Again, if you are in this situation, please reach out to someone, get some relaxation if you can, get some weight if you need it. And sometimes just read, like, hey, this person's having a hard time. Maybe having something a little extra could help them, like, have that weight. We wanted to close with a segment called Better Safe Than Sorry, or Better Sorry Than Safe. I have some things here because better safe than sorry is a good rule in practice. Sometimes there are times where you don't want to follow it. So I'm going to ask Courtney, better safe than sorry or better sorry than safe? Courtney, your toddler is unusually quiet in the other room. Is it better safe than sorry or better sorry than safe?
I feel like I'm saying better safe than sorry to, like, go check on him. Is that what you mean?
I 100% agree with that. Yeah, 100% agree. All right, Courtney, you didn't bring a jacket and it might drop to 80 degrees.
Gil's making fun of me because I wear a jacket 24/7.
Courtney will go outside in 100-degree weather and want her coat, not a jacket.
You're going to make fun of me, but I'm saying better sorry than safe.
Better sorry. No, I think that's great. That's the right answer. Most of us would not want a coat if it's going to drop.
I know,
to
but for
70,
me.
you know? Okay. Your kid hits their head and seems fine at first, but then later things seem off.
Better safe than sorry.
I agree. Better safe than sorry. Absolutely. All right. Your kid just got done with church and there's a puddle outside and he wants to jump in it. Better safe than sorry, or better sorry than safe?
Better sorry than safe. I'm all about my son getting dirty and
You've already
having
been
fun.
to church. Get dirty, dude. Yeah. The
Church
car,
clothes will wash.
yeah, exactly. A car seat strap looks a little twisted and it might hold. Safe than sorry or sorry than safe?
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. Absolutely. Don't mess around with the car seat.
I do always think on those ones, like, it'll be fine. Better safe than
Better
sorry
safe
still.
than sorry. All right. You are going to put on sunscreen to check the mail. Your mailbox is right outside the door. Do you need that sunscreen?
Better sorry than safe.
Better sorry than safe. I agree with you.
Even though when we first had Bauer, I was like, anytime he was outside, I'm like, put sunscreen on him, like 5 seconds. He's outside, and I'm like, sunscreen.
We had a spare bin, and we just filled it with sunscreen so we could just dunk him whenever we were going to look outside. Your newborn feels warmer than usual, but you're not sure if it's a fever. Better safe than sorry or better sorry than safe?
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to wear a helmet to mow the lawn. Is that the right call? Is that better safe than sorry or sorry than safe?
Knowing you, better safe than sorry.
Well, actually, that tracks. We live in a rocky area. Most people, though, better sorry than safe. Get out of here. Your kid hasn't peed all day, but they say they feel fine. Better safe than sorry or sorry than safe.
Better safe than sorry. Just chug some water, buddy.
Nice. All right. Here we go. Last one. You're going to walk to the end of the driveway. Should you bring a first aid kit? Better safe than sorry or sorry than safe?
I think I'm going sorry than safe on
Sorry
this
than
one.
safe on that one. I agree with that one. You'll probably survive.
And if not, we'll run back to the house for a band-aid.
Exactly. I'm sure there's got to be one in here. All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Happy New Year.